Like if it's going to be scripted and edited, I should put it on one channel, and if it's not going to be, I should put it on the other. But at the same time, I love that old school YouTube vibe of like I just put everything on one channel, and that thought process has ruined my YouTube journey so far, I think. Alright, this one is a little bit different. I want to have a conversation about things that I've learned doing this and share my story a little bit. So even that just came out backwards. I'm not used to at least scripting to a point or just, you know, making a total fool of myself. So I guess this is one of the ones where I'm making a total fool of myself. But what I think I'm gonna do is I want to share a little bit of my story, a little bit about the things that I've been learning lately, and also reacting to myself. And what brought this on is because I was going through that old mind state of like, I have another channel where I was like focusing on aliens and stuff like that, but then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I thought maybe I should transform that channel. And in that channel, it's been like super consistent and niched down, and also to a certain level of production, where on this channel, it's like been all over the place, which made me start that other channel, except I'm more interested in things that I talk about on this channel. And I'm a big believer, I don't know if I'm like a believer in the fact that I think that it works, but I'm a believer in the fact that I like the idea of me being the niche and me sharing my true self. As much as I love like curating videos and telling stories, like I'm all about that as well. And the most successful videos that I've done are that on both of those channels. Neither one is big. This is my biggest one. I have 200 and something odd followers, but I've had a couple videos that have blown up, and I've worked on other people's videos as a video editor. My biggest problem with YouTube is knowing where to put my energy. Now I have somewhat of a strategy, but I'm also learning things about myself, because the whole reason I got into this was to be creative, tell stories. And what I've learned recently with the Black Magic one, the last real scripted video I came out with, I realized that I can make those types of videos and do a pretty good job if it's talking about people. I had the idea in my head that because I'm into camera production and I'm just obsessed with cameras, but I don't have enough money to really even get my hands on. Like maybe I could rent them, but I live in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I could probably rent them online, and I've thought about doing that, but I don't even want to really be a review channel. I want to talk about like production and video editing, and actually like like I enjoy the video essay documentary style. In dream world, like if I won $1 billion, I would probably be making documentaries about nonprofits or about subject matter that I think would be impactful or shine a spotlight on a certain topic, right? That's where my passion is. Like I want to tell stories about things that I care about. What I've realized is even if I try, of course I care about Black Magic as a company or whatever, like I use their products every day, but I don't care, like it's just not interesting enough for me to make like a huge project about just the company. Because at the beginning of that video, there's a part of the beginning that's like embarrassing when I watch it back, and I also think that's part of being a presenter. You're just gonna have, like I could have re-recorded it, and maybe I did have a couple takes on that day, and I picked my favorite one, but I was just in a really constantly improving, constantly listening to feedback, and constantly implementing new ways to support creatives, both in their NLE and with all of their products. Like I don't like the way that I sounded. I sounded almost like Jimmy Beast screaming or something, and the audio was off. I have to move on. I realized that a long time ago, but that wasn't the problem. At the beginning of it, I was passionate. At the beginning of it, I was talking about the CEO, Grant Petty, who I was very interested in, and him as a person really intrigues me, and Black Magic is very much entwined with him. Like if I was to do the project again, and maybe I will at some point, it's too early now, I have other projects in the works, right? But if I ever go back to that, maybe I would start with Grant Petty and then move on to like Black Magic versus Asmos Ninja and like their whole controversy, because those guys started off as Blackmagic employees, and I don't even know the full story behind that. I don't know, but I've read a bunch of Reddit threads of people talking about that subject matter. It's a big problem of like why certain cameras have certain codecs, and like possibly even though like Apple and Blackmagic have a really good relationship, that Asmos and Blackmagic's feud because they support ProRes and DNxHR. I think they both supported DNxHR at one time anyway. I don't know. Like there's things there. There's a whole bunch of interesting stuff that I don't even know. I mean like I'm so obsessed with this stuff, like I should have known myself better. So I'm learning what excites me, because with that video it started off strong, I think, and even though I was embarrassed watching it back in some parts, me as a presenter, the subject matter was entertaining enough for me to continually to make it. Where at the end I kind of like, I didn't do a good job. Like the beginning was okay, I got into Grant Petty, but then once I got to like the products and started listing the products, it just didn't interest me enough. I think I did an okay hitting like the products that I was interested in, but I also missed a ton, and I even say it in the video, a ton of production projects of like sound mixers, and I mean it was already getting to be a really long video, but I'm not against long videos, especially this day and age with YouTube. It seems like the main successful videos is short and long, and guess what? I like making both. Honestly, I really like I'm an editor's editor, so like short videos are fun because you can make them in a day and you can just have a bunch of flashy stuff on it. But at the same time, I like making long form. Long form is where you can tell the story. Both can be artistic, right? Shorts has a sloppy reputation to it because there's a lot of just nonsense out there, and I scroll TikTok like everyone else, right? I try not to, but hey. Let's see an example of some of this stuff, some of my last video, and then I want to react to some of my other channel because that's never really been seen on this channel, and I want there to be a place where you can come and, I mean, that's kind of what Sean Martin Flicks has always been about. It's like Sean Martin was already tooken, so Netflix was already tooken, so I decided to Sean Martin Flicks. It was the first thing, like back when I was starting a YouTube channel, that it was like I was just thinking of things and typing things in, and Sean Martin Flicks, I was like, oh, it has a ring to it because of Netflix, and boom, here we are. Arr, matey. When you first get onto my page and it's Tony Hawk, 900, Taz Pappas, and this whole video, I did this, how long? This was 8 months ago I made this video. In some ways, I've gotten better. You improve as an editor all the time, but this was a subject, I mean, I have like hours more of this video that I could have included, but I didn't because it was just getting so long and I wanted to just tell the story, and I think I did a pretty good job telling the story of that, and you know, it's one of my higher performer ones, and it's the one because if somebody's looking for my editing or whatever, I want them, if they do find me on YouTube, to be able to come to my page and have that one pop up. And I always know it's a good video when there's controversy, because if you watch the video, I try really hard to not be biased in any one direction, and I'm really not on this particular subject other than I love Danny Way if you are a skateboarder. In the comments, you'll see people fighting back and forth or accusing me, maybe I get something just a little bit wrong, or I make it sound like I think one or the other is better than the other. There's a lot of Tony Hawk fans, and there's a lot of Taz Pappas. I also feel like not everybody watched it all the way to the end, because at the end I address of a lot of the stuff that the comments are complaining about, right? How Taz Pappas had his problems and he was gonna have his problems regardless if he was the first one to land the 900, and I address all that at the end.
Was Tony Hawk before the 900. He sold boards when he was 14. He had super supportive parents, and I think if anybody could have given Tony a run for a money, say like a different pro skater video game, it would have been Christian Hosoi. If he would have made different life choices,
yeah, he would have never been Tony Hawk, like no matter what move he made, because he was who he was, and Tony Hawk was already huge, and Tony Hawk was like seemingly a much nicer person. You can go watch that video if you want to know about that, but it is interesting the way that people react to things, but you know, that's part about being on the internet. And what's interesting to me, just looking at my homepage here, I just put out History of Blackmagic Design. There's 16 views, and the beginning of it I think is good, right? Let me put it this way. I don't think it's my best work. However, I think the beginning of it is entertaining, and I was passionate about the beginning of it. And then the rest of it, I've seen much like worse videos done. I've seen, we got content thieves, people that react, whatever, right? Re-uploads that do better. We got Sniper Wolf, right? Or whoever that react to people's hard work, and maybe those are better videos. But I know for a fact there are genuinely, like, it's weird to say that about yourself, but I know it's not my best work. I'm not gonna call it like the best video ever, but like it's not the worst. Like, I've seen videos, so I don't know. That's just but then you look over here, and this one, I don't even remember this one. This is just like it's weird to see your own channel and what YouTube is recommending to me. You know what I'm into. I'm video editing, computers, and drama. But this one's disguised as it's about the Beast thing, and it has what's his name on there. But the truth is, it's basically the same thumbnail, but it's actually talking about YouTube. It's not the drama. I'm like, look, he was a brand new channel and he blew up, and that got 840 views. That video was much easier to make than the Black Magic Design video. And same with this Microsoft video, which has 4 more views than that one. And that, I believe, if I'm remembering right, it's just me sitting at a table talking about how I don't understand Microsoft, and I better be careful mentioning that because I'll just go into like an hour-long rant about it. And then there's a 221 video. This one makes sense to me. Very niche. Again, my channel's all over the place. This is a video I'm very proud of right here. It has 79 views on this channel. This is actually a slightly edited differently, there's like a few more scenes and a couple scenes cut out from the one that's on my other channel. And my other channel, it has a few hundred views. And this was a hard video to make because it was very, I had to get the history right. I had to write the script, and it took me a long time, and I appreciate it. Like, I enjoy watching this video because it's something I've always been interested in. And at least on the other channel, it's very slowly gaining views because I do think that it hits in the algorithm. But you have to know who Giorgio Tsoukas is, the crazy alien guy. And maybe I don't have the best thumbnail. I had 3 thumbnails going. I chose the second to the most favorite because the other one was cringe. Life Talk, I got 7 views. That makes total sense. It's just me like complaining about how all my dead friends. And I guess what I'm getting at is just like, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but then sometimes it does. Like, I expected certain ones to, like, you have that feeling when you just know it's kind of a banger, at least for your channel. Eckhart Tolle's one of them. That's probably my highest. Like, it has 3,800 or whatever, 3,800 views and more than that. And I'm still getting comments, a lot of angry people, a lot of people that agree with me. But usually it's people that are, like, again, I tried to keep a neutral point of view and just say, scammer or guru. Like, I personally don't believe in following people. I believe in learning from people. I think Eckhart Tolle is a great leader, but some of the stuff that he does on stage makes me think that he's kind of, he's making a living off of it, right? Which I don't think there's anything wrong with, but at the same time, I do feel like he pushes it farther than I'm comfortable with, we'll say, right? YouTube ain't fair, is what I'm saying. Also, it doesn't always make sense, right? Like, YouTube changed again. Maybe I'm bad. I know I'm bad at thumbnails. I need to work on them. YouTube changed. It's just called Changed as YouTube. You see it, and 166 views. That's the first video that was like, when did I make? A year ago. Maybe this stuff just takes longer, but then you hear about people blowing up in a month, so, it's a lot of hard work, and I am doing other work. I don't know, it's just really interesting. I feel like, again, my biggest problem isn't the video making, it's staying motivated to write the script and do the edit to the best of its ability. And then you don't want to like over edit it, because I've had complaints about that. I stopped making certain sound effects because they're just annoying. And I still see other channels do them, and maybe it makes sense for their audience, and I thought it was impressive. It's impressed people on Fiverr and stuff, right? Where you have like the typing sound every time you're flashing words and pops, and there's a limit. I feel like sound effects are only good if people don't notice them, or when they do notice them, it's like, oh wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, too much is too much. As much as I love, even though it takes a bunch of time, I love to watch. I love just like the look of the timeline with like a bunch of layers on it. And then it's weird because like I did this other channel, put a lot of work into it. I launched this channel. You have the people that just don't believe anything. You have the people that believe everything. You have people that say they're in the middle, but they more don't believe and they're like very, very critical. But you don't have anybody that's sort of on the middle, but more on the believing side. And that's where I am. Like, this is my alien channel, but I was thinking I'm going to be super niche. And the reason I quit doing that, because I'm still super passionate about aliens and I believe in them and all this, right? The problem with the alien subject is there's so much bullshit out there. There's just so much fake shit. I'm convinced that aliens are real, but I'm also convinced that a lot of it's fake. It just gets old, and there's only so much I personally can get myself to do in this niche. I can't do a channel like this. Like, I made the videos I made. I probably should have just made them on Sean Martin Flicks, my random channel, and maybe I should still make a designated channel with the more edited videos and leave these videos on a different, separate them. Like, if it's going to be scripted and edited, I should put it on one channel, and if it's not going to be, I should put it on the other. But at the same time, I love that old school YouTube vibe of like, I just put everything on one channel, and that thought process has ruined my YouTube journey so far, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Tell me what you think. What should I do? I launched with, I can't remember which ones were, but I launched with like 3 or 4 of these, and some of them are pretty generic, and some of them are, I think I make some pretty good points in here. A couple of them are well edited. Some of them are really story orientated. Some of my shorts. Let's see, where's the Giorgio Tsoukalos one on here? And I do wonder, like, does YouTube know? See, I have a little more views, 167. Between the two, I have almost 300 views. I mean, that's not very much to YouTube standards, but hey, if they were all in the room at the same time and I was like doing a play. I think this is a good video. And as far as like YouTube goes, if I don't say so myself, there's like millions of, like, I know there's definitely better videos about Giorgio Tsoukalos, but not in the style. And I haven't personally seen any that has all the information in one place that is entertaining like the one that I made. So maybe it is a thumbnail thing. Maybe it is just the algorithm not, again, like, I think that my videos are pretty good, but I just don't package the channel nor the videos in a way that works. Thinking out loud, a video that is lower effort and it does better. I do a video that's higher effort and it does the same, or maybe a little bit better, or maybe I just have a long way to go. I mean, we all do, right? It keeps going until you stop. Obviously, this channel, it's abandoned. I'm still getting views on it sometimes. I don't even really answer them anymore. I have 14 subscribers. It's weirdly, like, when I abandoned this channel, I think I only had like 7, so it's like doubled. I think I put out all these videos in like a month. What you can expect from me in the next little while or so is I'm making some more videos about camera entrepreneurs that have to do with big companies, but not about the companies. That's the main thing I learned, is like, I can do a documentary about Grant Petty and the competition and how that affected people, and I think that would be more entertaining to people anyways. But me personally, I get lost in the sauce if I'm talking about like the technical specs of a bunch of different products. It's too bad it's YouTube. I thought that would work on YouTube, and maybe it would if I could do it, but I just can't get myself to do it. However, I'm still going to talk about like the entrepreneurs of the camera industry, of YouTube, of Netflix, or anything that's like video making related. Maybe I'll do Adobe, maybe I'll do Blackmagic again at some point. I probably will if I unless I decide to pivot. But I'm also working on a very personal one about my dog and some of the things that have happened recently. She has this like weird disease. She has to take a shot once a week. It's called Askins. I don't know. I have a hard time pronouncing it. It's a bunch of money, and it scared me really bad because I thought my dog was gonna die. I wrote a script that's basically the way I got her, because it's an interesting story about how I got her, and then this whole thing, you know, and it's just like kind of more me sharing myself, but in a more thought out manner, because I mean, this is sharing myself too. But I don't know, dude. Tell me what you think of all this. Tell me what you thought of this video. Tell me if you'd want to see more videos like this. I could break down edits. Like we could actually like watch some of my videos and see the timelines of them if you would be interested in that. I could, you know, teach editing in that way. I don't think I want to like really start teaching editing. There's just so many other good teachers out there. It's hard for me to be meta. Like, this is very meta for this channel, right? And meta not as in Facebook, but meta as I'm talking about videos, making a video. That's really meta. But YouTube's a meta thing, so I don't know. Anyway, if you made it this far, definitely like the video at least. And if you want to see my face again, subscribe. Probably see my face again anyway in your feed because you watched me this far. YouTube's always changing. AI is a powerful tool, but screw you, YouTube, for trying to replace us or something like that. There's powerful tools out there, but don't let artificial intelligence replace us. Art is art, and it don't belong to the machines. And my memory card's running out, so I'll either see you in the next life, or wait, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next life, but hopefully in the next video.